the Cathars in regards of I wanted some information that didn't come from Roman Catholics because in regards of who were the Cathars. That was something in regards of the Cathars, and oh yeah, in regards of the Roman Catholic Church, killing them, burning them, and so forward. Now, the funny thing is that Roman Catholics like try to defend that, these were heretics and all that, and they believe this and they believe that, and so forward. So that makes it okay to just burn them all and persecute them and kill them off. And of course, there's the same argument in regards to the Waldensians. But I know we have information in regards of Waldensians, in regards of, not the propaganda bullshit machine of the Roman whore and the Antichrist of the number 666, and all his minions following him that promotes his bullshit, all this satanic bullshit. Anyway, so I was looking to see if I could find some sources in regards of the Cathars, and I was looking actually in regards of Dave Hunt, although I do still, he has a lot of good stuff for sure. Still, he actually has a huge amount of good stuff. But still, you still have to be discerning in regards of, in any case. We all have, mistakes. We're all making mistakes here and there, so it's hard to find someone that you're totally 100% in agreement with, besides, of course, Yeshua, which, of course, we're always in agreement with Yeshua anyway, or should be. So I actually ended up on Schubert webpage, and Schubert he's a Roman Catholic. He was actually the one that deceived me into in regards of the Mecca and Mohammedan bullshit and all that, and totally, in regards of how he, when you begin to, when you research the Bible, you find out this is utterly nonsense. And of course, later on, I found out that he was a Roman Catholic. He was a papist. Oh, that makes totally sense. So of course, you don't want to point to his own organization. And of course, defending it as, anyway. So he has this article here in regards of how Tim LaHaye, John MacArthur, and Dave Hunt support Antichrist doctrines. And I'm like, okay, John MacArthur, Tim LaHaye, and Dave Hunt support heretics who promulgated Antichrist doctrine. All three of these authors consider the Albigensians, Cathars, Paulicians, and Bogomils as true or Orthodox Christians. And then it goes on, all of these heretics believe that Christ never died, that his death was an illusion, and that the creator of the physical world, and the God of the Old Testament was the devil. You have to be, what are these, I think I actually had a pretty good, I think that was in regards of these different groups, but again, my memory. We have lost so much information in regards of history and all that. And there's so many bullshitters out there, pretty much, in regards of what do you call it, insert Roman Catholics, bullshitters, liars, deceivers, workers of the devil. It's incredible, it's so, and in sheep clothing. Be aware of wolves in sheep clothing. It's insane. It's just, their tricks, Anyway, how people can go around and do like what Roman Catholics are doing, I have no idea. But anyway, all these, I guess, when you're worshiping Satan, every single week, or maybe more than every single week, bowing down before idols, kissing them, lighting candles in front of them, praying to so-called Mary, and bowing down before a cookie, you got to be kidding me. No, I'm not kidding. Roman Catholicism is the same bullshit institution as it has been for a long, long, long time. And now the so-called Protestants are running back to the mother hall, the harlot. Yeah, and the Antichrist, of course, with the number 666, the triune tyrant, the Pontifex Maximus, the high pagan priest, the man full of bones, the man of death, the man of sin, that very Antichrist, the office and seat of the papacy. Yeah, every single man in regards to that dynasty represents the beast of the number 666. They represent the Antichrist. Now, of course, there will be one final Antichrist that, our master will cast into the lake of fire and all that. Yeah, this is a wicked system. In any case, as far as I can understand from scripture, the city, Rome, will be destroyed at some point in the future, but you have to be aware that the Antichrist will continue. The office and seat of the papacy will continue. The Roman emperor will continue, So he doesn't go away. The beast doesn't go away at that point. So anyway, yeah. So he goes into in regards of, well, that depends in regards of if the Albigensians and the Cathars and the Paulicians and the Bogomils actually believe what the Roman Catholics say but the thing is they let's say they just believe that. Now I would need more research and all that, but as far as I remember and all that, I don't give much credit for the Roman Catholics in regards of saying that these groups were, because they're doing the same thing with the Waldensians, and we have enough material in regards to the Waldensians that wasn't, lost, so we know that the Roman Catholic insane institution is a lying, deceptive, bullshit promoting institution, and of course we knew all, it should be pretty clear. Anyway, so the Albigensians and the Cathars and the Paulicians and the Bogomils. I'm not sure who the Bogomils are totally. I'm not sure I've heard about them before. But anyway, it's hard to remember everything, but it's just, you get so tired of the Roman Catholics, how they, oh yeah, but they were heretics. Oh, so it's okay to murder them because they were heretics. Isn't it actually the institution of the Roman Catholics that have, made heretics out of the Nazarenes? The Nazarenes who was the first, what? Oh yeah, the first believers. But they are heretics. Oh. Really? So the first believers that was closest to the event are now heretics? What other nonsense and bullshit. Of course they're persecuted as well, I can't have to be kidding me. And of course we couldn't read the Bible in our language. And of course they burned the libraries of the Waldensians. Yeah, that doesn't really sound like a Christian institution to me, Yeah, it's not. It's the old Roman pagan mystery religion. That's pretty much what it is. She just took on sheep clothing, but she's still the same harlot as before. Apparently the Bogomilism, apparently different places in regards of the Roman Empire here. Not sure what they are about and all that. In regards to what they believed and all that, I haven't heard. But the Albigensians, I know there's some. Again, the Roman Catholic with they're heretics and all that. Well, again, they do the same thing with the Waldensians, and again, we have sources that tell the truth and not So I would be very. The problem is, of course, when Rome have a way of destroying people and murdering them and killing them off and, chopping them up and, burning all that documents and all that, right? And then they can write history. Should we trust that? Maybe not. Maybe not. It's an old idea apparently in regards to Rome that they just burn the documents of their opponents and then they write the history for themselves. It seems to be a thing that goes, where you see a pattern in regards to Roman bullshit. Yeah, whatever. The last beast, in regards of the book of Daniel. Um, but anyway, Schubert says all of these heretics believe that Christ never died, that his death was an illusion, and that the creator of the physical world, and that the creator of the physical world, and that God and the God of the Old Testament was the devil. That's what they are saying. Have to be remembered. These are Roman Catholic. That's what he is saying. And again, there's a lot of bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit out there. And yeah, well, all roads leads to Rome. It's true. All roads, every time, it just leads to Rome. This pedophile institution of Roman Catholicism. I just saw this a video and some of the what do you call it? The movie, and then I saw some where the real people were there and they were talking and all that. What an outrageous pedophile bullshit institution that Roman Catholic. Yeah, I don't understand it. How can people be so blind to still continue to be Roman Catholics? You have to be kidding me. Apparently people are just, they just keep hanging on. They just keep clinging on to this bullshit, They cling to the hole in their bed, They don't want to get out of the bed and run, Which, of course, I would advise anyone to do, to get out of the bed of the Roman hall and run and don't look back, So he's going on the attack here, but it's not really a surprise because, of course, he's a Roman Catholic. But I was actually looking in regards of what Dave Hunt was saying about the Cathars. But then, of course, you get all this Roman Catholic bullshit, right? Dave Hunt also accepted the Cathars and the Bogomils, another heretical group, very similar to the Cathars as the being part of the first church. Oh, maybe he has a quote here from Dave Hunt, yeah. Furthermore, millions of biblical Christians resisted Rome for 15 years before Luther or Calvin. Albigenses, Waldensians, Bogomils, Paulicians, Baptists, and those who simply called themselves Christians or brethren traced their doctrines back to the apostles and never obeyed the popes. I'm inserting the popes here. I don't like using the Pope thing, Dave Hunt, James White debating Calvinism. That's interesting. Oh yeah, he has the Waldensians as well. Of course, it's interesting that Schubert is not saying anything in regards to the Waldensians, but I've seen a debate with Dave Hunt where the Roman Catholic tries the card of the Waldensians, and Dave Hunt just, totally destroys him, just totally annihilates him on that, because of course Dave Hunt has read sources from the Waldensians and not from the Roman Catholic Church. So he knew something. Actually, he knew a lot of things. This is the thing, there's so many lies out there. It's just like, sticky slime everywhere, It's really sad. So just because Schubert says, they believe this and that and all that, well, he's probably getting his information from, the Roman Catholic Church, right? But again, you have to be aware that, okay, so let's just say they were heretics. Was it then okay to go out, and murder them, burn their documents, chop them up to pieces and, and so forward, torture them, have you seen the tools of what they have used in the past? It's insane. How can, I'm like looking at many of these devices, these torture devices, and I'm thinking, how can anyone even come up with these diabolical ideas, It is outrageous, diabolical. It's coming from the devil, Can't, you just look at that, just look it up, It's incredible, it's just deeply satanic, the wickedest, the most wicked ways to torture people and what they did with people, just incredible. It's nearly like drowning is seemingly like a compared to the torture devices, drowning seems to be a pretty good way to go, compared to the other things, where you will be tortured, or even if you are, what shall we say, blessed, they will just chop off your head and it will be done. Some of these, just look at these torture devices. It's just insane. It's cruel. It's diabolical. It's demonic. It's just utterly filthy. Yeah, it's just, it's just incredible. How can anyone come up with these things, And they say they are the Church of Christ. Oh, give me a break. Yeah, I guess, I guess the devil have a way of, whatever. Lying. Okay, let's see here. This is from Lehaya. I'm not sure who is Lahaye. In the period of immediately following, so-called, let's just use the poop innocent. Yeah, they like to be called all these extraordinary names and all that. And like, oh, innocent. Oh, really? The third. The Inquisition did its most deadly work in southern France. See under Albigensis, Lehaya, Revelation unveiled. And yeah, well, they pretty much, they pretty much did the Protestant in France, pretty much. I see. Dave Hunt also accepted the Cathars and the Bogumiles, another heretical group very similar to the Cathars. Oh, did we already read? No. Yeah, we read that apparently. Or maybe it's, no, this is MacArthur up here. Okay. MacArthur says, while the period produced some famous preachers such as Peter the Hermit, Bernard of Clairvaux, and Thomas Aquinas, none handled the text in an expository fashion. Faint hints of Bible exposition has been detected among independent groups such as Paulicians, Waldensians, and Albigenses, despite the fact that these groups are commonly dismissed as heretics. And who is saying that they're heretics? Oh, of course, those that murdered them. You can't really ask them, anymore because, oh yeah, your institution just totally slaughtered them. Yeah. Anyway, that's the problem is that I don't know how many things have survived from these groups. I think most of it has sadly been destroyed. Like they burned. Look, it was like 2 libraries of the Waldensians. They did just burned down. In regards of this information. It's just incredible, why would you ever burn down a Christian library if you are Christian? It absolutely does not make sense. And of course it doesn't make sense because, well, it makes perfect sense when you know that Rome and the Catholic Church is not Christian. They didn't want you to read the word in your own language, Any Christian would love people to read the Bible. Any Christian, but not the Roman Catholic Church, of course. I met a woman in Jerusalem. I can't remember. I think it was the first time I was in in Israel, and she was not allowed to read the Bible. I think she was from Ireland, and she had been, she had grown up, and she had not been allowed to read the Bible on her own. You have to be kidding me. Is this still going on in our days? Apparently. It is incredible. No one should be kept away from the Bible. Absolutely no one. But I would advise to be very careful of Roman Pharisee Paulus. He is a great witness in regards of Yeshua, but he leads people into lawlessness. So, anyway. There was 2 gospels going out in the world in the name of Yeshua very early on. Now one leads back to the law and one leads away from the law. And then I guess you have to decide which one of the 2 gospels are the correct one. Yeah. What did Yeshua do? Did he lead people back to the law or did he lead them away from the law? Actually, he not only led them back to the law, he took it to another level in some sense. Anyway, that's another. So yeah, sometimes it's a little hard when you're going on the fly to get all the words and all that, right? So, but anyway, this Schubert tries to turn it around in regards. So, when you have two groups saying two different things, one of them is clearly lying, one of them must clearly be wrong, right? Because both of them can't be right. But let's just take that aside in regards of, let's just say that these people were heretics, right? Okay. Let's just say that these groups were heretics, which I must, I don't think they were. I think there's a good chance that there were, true Bible, reading Christians that just didn't want anything to do with the Antichrist, and thereby the Antichrist, killed them off, pretty much. Anyway, murdered them, slaughtered them, and yeah, anyway. I do wonder what they were called in France. I remember seeing, this is one of these anti-Catholic material, and I actually found it from a Catholic source, they're saying, oh, this is, these are the five, most, what shall we say, most, that have done most damage to, and you have to be aware that they're liars and deceivers, so you knows what they will give you of information. But anyway, I tend to have a look on it, and one of them was in regards to this movie that you didn't have, it was a silent movie, and it goes in like 3 or 4 time zones. Is it 3 or 4? I can't remember. You see some feminists running around, trying to, and then you have the Christians in France, I think it is. What are they called? Huguenots? I think they might actually be the Huguenots. And then you see the Roman Catholics just slaughtering these people. Apparently they thought it was anti-Catholic, Well, if the truth is anti-Catholic, we'll stand on the truth, whether it be anti-Catholic or not. And of course, most truth, a huge amount of truth are anti-Catholic. Well, actually, it seems like nearly everything, actually. Every road leads to Rome. Anyway, so this guy, who is a Roman Catholic is, but but at least he leads me, that's the thing, you can still use sources. You just have to be discerning, and you can use Roman Catholic sources as well to get information. For example, if you don't have any documents from a group, but you can see they're writing against the group, you can see what they're writing in regards of, what they have of problems, for example. Like, for example, if the Anabaptists had been wiped out, we have, both documents from the Roman Catholics, from the Calvinists, I think, and from the Lutherans, so both from the Protestants that persecuted them, and the Roman Catholics that also persecuted them. They got pretty much hit from all sides, and the Anabaptist was, wonderful. And I really, when people want to kill them off, and I really, if you are a Christian, why would you kill why would you kill them off? Oh, you call them radicals, and so what, If they're radical, isn't that a good thing? If they go then, steps further than you did, isn't that a good thing? Of course it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Now, of course, they still have issues. Everybody has issues. But they were, looking at the, the history of these people, the Hutterites, sending out people 2 on 2, preaching the good news and all that. And yeah, it's just wonderful. I really love, the Hutterites was absolutely my favorites of the Anabaptist groups, We have the Mennonites, and we have the Amish as well, I guess is mostly the most well known. But the Hutterites, I just love their story. Well, they call themselves brethren, as I understand, and there's still a group that is, as I understand, in Germany that calls themselves brethren. That might be a lot of, but anyway. But they are considered Anabaptist, and Anabaptist in regards of rebaptizers and all that. It was a negative term from the enemies. But just reading what the opponents and Zwingli, Luther, Calvin, I think, all these groups of Protestant groups are attacking them, and the Roman Catholics are, so they're just getting, totally hit by, by every kind of side, which is very sad because they were absolutely the closest. And but anyway, yeah, well, and if you go to World War II, I remember seeing a story from the U.S. and seeing a story from Germany, and that's the way to do it as a Christian. And those in the U.S., that was, I think it was Mennonites, but I'm not entirely sure. But Anabaptists of some kind, and they didn't want to take up, the sword of the hand, and they were killed. And but thereby the military didn't want to go further in regard to trying to recruit anymore. So even if they died, at least they stood strong, and they very might well have saved a lot of lives, by doing what they did. And then the German Anabaptist, he survived, although he survived. But that was, and they didn't want to go into, take up the sword of the hand. That's the way to do it, I think, as a Christian. So, while many other Christians are going out there to kill each other and all that, people made in the image of God, and you have to be kidding me. Like we have another battle. We have a battle in regards of truth, and the sword of the mouth. Anyway, so I guess that's pretty much it. Oh, is he going? Oh, I don't know. Okay. So he goes into this and that and all that. But again, the thing is that these groups, what they're really believing, what you say they believed. Because if you're just going by Roman Catholic sources, I might not really trust those, because we have seen what they have done, like for example, to the Waldensians, where we actually have some surviving material from them, so we actually really know what was going on, and not what the Roman Catholic bullshit institution have been telling us. And of course, these people were pointing to, to Rome. Now, I don't know if every single of these groups were, but the Waldensians, I think a lot of these groups understood that Rome was, who Rome was and who the Antichrist was. I think it was pretty evident for them. But anyway, the Anabaptists got persecuted from every single side. So, but even if they had succeeded in wiping the Anabaptists out, we would still have had a lot of material from the opponents, where they are trying to. It's kind of, reading some of where they attack the Anabaptists for being, for not cursing, and for being, pretty much, righteous. And they're attacking it. Oh, it must be of the devil that these people are so this and so that. It's like, are you kidding me? Is that what you're going to use as arguments against these people? You have to be kidding me. Anyway, there's a lot of bad arguments, and it's a topic for itself, I'm sure. So. Yeah, again, it's hard to remember everything and all that. Okay, here we have something in regards to Andreas Karlstad. It's interesting that, a lot of, actually, most of the movies and, what is promoted in regards of the Reformation, which failed, actually, which became a protest. It's interesting how they give all the credit to Martin Luther, when Andreas Karlstadt actually, whether, some of the things they gave credit to Martin Luther was Andreas Karlstadt, not Martin Luther. And of course, they Martin Luther and it's interesting to see how Martin Luther actually comes back to Wittenberg and how he actually, snake oiled it. It's really snaky. Saying that what Andreas Karlstadt and the others have done is correct and all that. But I can't remember it word for word. It's in the internet. You can go look it up. Just search after if you search Martin Luther letters, and then you just search for Karlstadt, and every time Karlstadt is there, you can just read it, and you can find a lot of interesting material in regards to that. And it's just interesting to see how Luther, slicks snake oil, slicks himself in, and then Karlstadt ends up being kicked out and so forward. It's that's absolutely a story that we have not heard in regards to these things, and which has been hidden away, and very sad, very sad. But anyway, he was called a radical as well, Andreas Karlstadt. It's just, well, what's so bad with being a radical, It's like the Anabaptists was also called radicals. So I think they got a lot of inspiration from Karlstadt as well. So we have Zwingli that there's some inspirations from, of course, Martin Luther as well. And then, of course, Andreas Karlstadt, which is just the forgotten piece of the puzzle of the the protest. I think he's one of the most important pieces, if not the. Of course, we have Martin Luther standing against the system and all that. But after he's gone, Andreas Karlstadt is now running things. He's moving forward, and and then Luther comes back and turns things around. As far as he can, at least. And then, of course, a lot of the things that Karlstadt did, now Luther gets the credit for that. It's just incredible. At least let us be honest, But no, 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 no. And Andreas is promoted as this a villain, and it's very sad, So, yeah. That's pretty much it. So I guess there's so much we don't know. Anyway, there's still a lot of things to. But yeah, you get more and more of the picture of what is going on in this world, and of course, we are just to stand for the truth, and of course the Antichrist will continue until Yeshua returns and cast him into the lake of fire, which is yet future. But yeah, we're just to stand for the truth in this dark world which hates the light, Yeah, it's incredible. Just read the Bible, people, if just the first couple of pages of the Bible, and already you have exposed a huge amount of the devil's lies, Evolution. Oh, what outrageous bullshit. And there you go again with the links to Rome. One of these findings to support evolution from monkey to man, or ape to man, whatever you want to. Apparently, it seems like Darwin believed it was ape to monkeys. Monkeys to man, and not ape to man. But apparently, some no, it's ape to blah blah blah. Anyway, whatever. Whatever you want to, it's bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit. I don't care if you think it's a monkey or an ape or anything like that. It's bullshit. Okay. It's nonsense. It's demonic lies, deceptions. Oh, billions and millions of years. Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever, Whew. Well. Anyway, the nutcase. This like the whole world is a nutcase world. It's just it's a nut house. The whole world. 82% of the people in Denmark believes in evolution. Someone that's not doing that job, and of course these preachers we have are pretty much not worth much. They can't even speak the truth. And we have Freemasons. We have Freemasons in the churches. We have, marriage of homosexuals, so-called marriage. How can you partake in a marriage of two men or two women if you know the Bible? I don't understand that. I already know. I would kick the person out of the church building at the very instant. Are you telling me, if he doesn't repent from that, you have to be kidding me. Oh, but the government say, I don't care what the government say, the Bible says, okay? Are we going to follow the government or are we going to follow the Bible? Okay, yeah, okay, I think we pretty much settled that, okay? Same thing with Sunday bullshit. 500 years to change Sunday to Saturday, and yet you're still continuing to keeping the venerated day of the sun god Sol Invictus. You have to be kidding me. Yeah, it's just... I'm getting so tired of all this bullshit. It's just bullshit everywhere. Everywhere. All around, everywhere. Bullshit, 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 and more bullshit. Nonsense, 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 and nonsense. The devil really deceives the entire world. It's incredible how many people are deceived. When you think about it, it's billions of people still deceived in nowadays. And of course, the deceived people tend to hate the Christians, and then they kill them off. So, yeah, well, that's. Anyway, that was a pretty good day. I guess I should go to bed. I tried the fasting thing in regards of exercising after 18 hours of fasting. It didn't really go well in the beginning, but after a good amount of swimming, I actually began to have, energy. It seems like it actually seems to be pretty good, but in the beginning it was really hard to start out. But after I actually had started out, I actually seemed to become better and better in some sense. I don't know. It did take a long time to swim the thing but by that last part, I really could make some quick swimming. Anyway, so I'm still on my antifungal things here and all that. Not sure how that goes. I don't know. So many things to try out, and so. Anyway, so still drinking the geranium oil in water. So getting a little of that here and there, and of course the berberine, and of course the diflucan, and so it is seemingly getting better, but I don't know. We'll see. That's still a little over 2 packages left of diflucan, and then after that I'm off the diflucan again. So hopefully it will take it out, but I'm afraid that it won't. Most likely won't, but you can always hope, right? But it is, it does seem pretty. Again, it varies, but yeah. Again, it could be a lot worse, A lot more worse, I'm not like, yeah. It's livable, absolutely. I just need to fix my back as well, Even if I fix the funky issue, I still have the back. My back is problematic. Again, things could be a lot worse, Many people have it a lot worse. we should, and we should help those people. Um, so I did. Of course, Facebook is ruining the links for my player because every single link on Facebook now, do diabolical bullshit and put things into the URL, the web page. What is it called? URL. That's just incredible. Why would they do that? Of course, more surveillance, advertising, bullshit, and all. And I'm just so tired of it. It's just getting worse and worse. It's the same thing with like Windows. Windows 2000 was the best system that Microsoft have ever made. Ever made. That was Windows 2000. And sadly, they never got to make a 64-bit version of it. As I understand it, it was actually planned to make a 64-bit version, but then something in regards of a company or something like that didn't, so they stopped production of a 64-bit version of Windows 2000. I wish they would have made that, That would have been wonderful. I do remember there's a website where a guy is still running Windows 2000. Very nice, but and I do understand why he would still run Windows 2000 because it is just the best system. But I think he has a lot of things like to get it to work. But yeah, was just a wonderful system. Very great system. It's very sad that I threw out the old computer that I had with the Windows 2000 because it was nice to have a system that actually did what you would like it to do and all that. But of course it's 32-bit and not 64-bit, so you probably would get into a lot of issues with the newer programs in our day, but overall the standard things, and again you could, you just need some older programs and that should still be, you could do everything that you actually wanted on the Windows 2000, Anyway, the late Roman world and its historian. Would be nice to get some real Protestant historian books. I know there's books out there. There are so many things to read up on. We have something in regards to the Albigensians or Cathars, southern France. Okay, they say they believe in absolute dualism between good and evil. Good, evil, good. Evil, good, evil, God made world. Yeah, we've heard that before and all that. But the question is, was that really, or is that just slander? Because of course the Catholic Church would need something to, think it was okay to slaughter these people, right? But even if they believe these things, is that a Christian way to go around and just slaughtering people, Let's see here, that's in regards of Dave Hunt, in regards of... he's written this Woman Writes the Beast book. I have the video on my video player, and that's pretty good. So... Oh, well. I think I have some information on the mobile that I've heard, but again, I'm like a full cup, so every time I fill something in it, something else goes out. Very annoying. That's just how it is. Anyway. The ultimate conspiracy. Dave Hunt and the Jesuit attempt to hijack the Christian faith. Of course, no one knows who the Jesuits are these days. We have no idea who the Jesuits is. And they, of course, are the anti-protest, those that are against the protest. And they want to get us back under the wings of the Antichrist. And they have been very successful, and they are very successful. And if no one speaks up, they will be, well, successful. So, so of course we have to speak against that. And we need to wake people up to the truth so they are not led astray into the Roman Catholic bullshit institution. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess that's all. I'm getting tired. I should go to bed. I guess it has been a pretty good day. The pedophilia thing, when you begin to find sources on that in regards to the Roman Catholic Church. Apparently, it's a worldwide problem in regards to pedophilia in regards to the Catholic Church. And there was a movie apparently made about it in regards to some journalist. And the movie is called... Good question. Should be here someplace. There we go. It's called Spotlight. Spotlight, and that's based on an authentic story in regards to a journalist that was looking into this thing in regards of children, and they found out it was a lot bigger than they realized. Much bigger. Anyway, it's interesting movie. 2 hours. I think they could have given it an hour more. Because there's a lot of interesting material. I think there should have been enough material to put more into the movie. I don't know, but anyway, it just seems like there could be. You're sitting there and you're getting all these informations, and like, this is great. Some gold nuggets in regards of how vile, how disgusting these Roman Catholic, what is going on in the Roman Catholic Church, anyway, I wouldn't trust my child with a Roman Catholic, let me say it like that. So that's... Of course, I wouldn't trust my child with a Mohammedan either, following a man that had sex with a 9-year young girl when he was 54 years old sounds like a little of the same, So, in regards to pedophilia. But anyway, it's called Spotlight. I have put it in my player as of now. I don't know. There's a lot of other, but it's a nice door opener in regards to this subject, because you get a soft introduction in some sense, and of course there's a lot of other informations out there in regards of it. Yeah. Well. Yeah, so no more information is coming out on that as well. I put a Roman Catholic historian on the video player as well, who found out in regards to the connections between the Vatican and the Nazi Reich. And yet he still continues to be a Roman Catholic, because there's bad popes and there's good popes. Oh, give me a break, how these Catholics are just utterly blind. It was like 50 years in the Catholic Church, or 50 years in one of these books from a Roman Catholic that was, I think it was a Roman Catholic for 50 years, and he got all these pointers. And yet it took him so long to get out of it. It's incredible. I guess all the demons that is filling these people are, helping them be close to Yeah. Ah, well, sad. Anyway. Anyway, I think I'm pretty much done for now. Tired and yep. We have another one that I've seen in regards of betrayal, abuse of the Catholic Church in Nova Scotia. I think that was in regards to that subject as well. Yep, that's the subject. Where they talk to interview people that so again, it seems to be a lot of information actually out there. If you begin to dig it, if you used your time, looking into it, I think you could find a pretty good amount. Of course, that could be interesting to collect as well. So people could easily find. I don't know. The problem is, of course, I'm filling up my space. So I don't really have much space on my website. So pretty much have nearly used. Well, I actually have. I think I have used it up actually. But I can delete my old. I have an old version on it as well, and if I delete that, I'm down to where I actually should be. But that, of course, doesn't. You know. So I have to. There's a lot of sorting still to do in regards of things, and some of the things I'm already. I know I need to delete again, but using the player just to get a get a feeling of the video player, um, and getting more accustomed to it, and fixing issues here and there, small issues here and there are fixed, so it's just going forward, and there's still things to fix and toy around with, but it's moving forward. It's working pretty good. The problem, of course, is oh yeah, we can actually have a look on the mobile if it doesn't close down. Let's see here. Oh, could we actually open a new page because? Oh yeah, okay. Okay, it has UVP. There we go. Push that. Let's see if it wants to go on. And there we go. The problem is that the player, when you turn the mobile around, the other problem, of course, is that it's higher than the thing here. So, but overall,